Hey sisters, Lynn Frank here. Today we're talking about claiming authority in our lives. And I would say it is one of our biggest challenges, especially as women, because of social conditioning. We have a real hard time making decisions for ourselves. And there are 4 subconscious blocks that I want to draw your attention to. The first is people pleasing, and I'm going to talk about these. People pleasing, seeking external validation. Why do we do that? Playing small, and crowdsourcing. And the first one I want to talk about is people pleasing because I think it's the most common and the one you're familiar with. You know, when you make a decision, it could be to avoid conflict, but most often it's just because you want to make the other person happy. We've been conditioned to believe that our own needs and wants are second, sometimes third, depending on how many people are in the group, right? The example I used a couple videos ago when I was talking about anxious attachment was, on a date and you're meeting somebody and they suggest to go hiking or biking. I can't remember the example I used. And you're like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Not because you want to try something new. You already know you don't like biking or hiking, but you agree to please the other person. And we do that in our lives everywhere. I know when I started teaching, I believed it was my responsibility to please my boss, right? As many of us do. I mean, we're the employee, and it is our job to fulfill our job description and to do it really well. It doesn't mean we have to take on extras if we don't want to. Sometimes it feels really good going above and beyond, as long as that's a decision you are consciously making. But if it's just to people please, to please your boss, try to remember what feels good, because eventually resentment will build and it creates for an unhealthy relationship. And that's any relationship, not just at work. So people pleasing is number 1. Let's stop doing that. You can take authority in your own life and sometimes say no. The second one is that I'm going to talk about is playing small. And this is more, there's lots of ways to describe it. I'm choosing to talk about the words that we use. So when you're talking to anybody and you have an idea, it's best to omit the words should or maybe, if, because it just undermines the value of your decision, of your idea. So rather than saying, maybe we should try, no, just say, let's try. Let's try this, and this is why, right? It sounds better. You're taking authority of your idea because you believe in it and you know that it's a good one. The word should, maybe, if, let those go. And you will see that your ideas will be more received because you're saying them with confidence. People listening to you know that you actually believe in what you are sharing. It's not just this last minute idea that you are sharing, right? So try to remember that. Seeking external validation, guilty. Oh man, it's only in us humans. We want to be accepted and liked, and it feels really good when other people are validating what we are saying or what we are doing. The problem is it cannot be our only source of validation. I use positive reinforcements in the classroom all the time, right? Good job, keep going, I like what you did here. All of that is positive, But I don't want it to be the only thing that motivates my students to move forward. I want them to feel good in their own work. I want them to be intrinsically motivated. I put a post up the other day, and this is more for the adults, not my students. And it said something like, stop taking Facebook so seriously. Most of your likes come from someone sitting on a toilet. Yeah, right? We have this idea that, oh yeah, if I get a lot of likes or, hearts or, smiley emoji faces, that, wow, what I did is really good and yay for me. Let's not take that stuff too seriously, and let's find validation within ourselves. Let's claim that authority and know what we are doing is working for us, and we don't need validation or approval from anyone else. Am I right? Come on, ladies. The last one, seeking crowdsourcing. I've been doing that as I move forward. Now, I'm doing it in terms of I'm creating content and I am kind of testing it out, right? Are the women I'm talking to going to benefit with me sharing A, B, and C? Does it add value? That's different. When I'm talking about crowdsourcing, it means that people are asking their mother and their friend and, even online, what do you think I should do? Not because they're looking for a diverse group of solutions, but rather because they're insecure with making the decision alone. And if they get advice from other people, then they feel better because someone else thinks that that's a good idea, and so they're not alone in making the decision. Crowdsourcing only leads to more self-doubt. It doesn't actually help you in any way. You might make a quick decision based on, what the 5 people you asked said, but it doesn't build your confidence. So the next time you're faced with something, you're gonna have to ask those people again. That's not helpful, right? So why do women specifically have such a hard time owning their decisions, claiming authority in their own lives? Why do we struggle with that? Well, for most of us, it's, did you say it? Yeah, it's the patriarchy. It's the system we live in. We have been socially conditioned to believe that we are irrational, that we are overthinkers, that we are led by our emotion and cannot use logic to make decisions. And all of that creates self-doubt. It lowers our confidence, it reduces our self-esteem, and in the end, we're left questioning what we actually know to be true. We have this innate inner knowing, sisters. We know our intuition will guide us, and it tries to time and time again. But because of all these external factors around us, we push our inner knowing down deep, and we rely on others for making decisions for us, and we give up our power. And then it just becomes this pattern of what we do. And sometimes it's so innate, it becomes such a habit that we don't even realize we're doing it. And we forget to intentionally pause and think about what we're thinking and making a decision that feels right for us. We automatically go to people pleasing, to playing small, to outsourcing, to seeking external validation rather than turning within. And it's because of social conditioning. It's not your fault. Another problem we also face is if a woman claims her authority, a lot of people are disrupted by that. It doesn't feel right. They don't like it. What do you mean she's making a decision and doing what she wants? And it's not only men who have a hard time with that, also women against women. I find that to be true, unfortunately, in many areas of my life. And that too is the conditioning. Because if we can constantly be against each other, we never move forward. We don't rise as a collective. And I truly believe the system we are currently living in, and I'm in North America, right? Because we actually have a lot of privilege. But the system we are currently living in likes to pin women against women because it holds us back. And when you're a white male with the power, you will do lots to make sure you keep that power, to make sure you are in control. And discriminating against women and many other minority groups is one of the ways the system as it is stays intact and the white man keeps control. And the more we shake things up, the tighter they squeeze. And I think we're seeing that in the United States, in some of the states where women have lost the right to control what is happening in their bodies. We're seeing that in Iran. It is, the more we shake things up, the more resistance there is to the current system, the more the system tries to push and hold back. And that's when we need to get together. So how do women start to claim authority? How do you start saying, no, this doesn't work for me, but this does. And this is how I'm going to share, and this is what I'm going to do. The number one suggestion, and I'm saying suggestion, ladies, because even I'm not telling you what to do, okay? I am sharing what I know from my knowledge, from my not only education and courses, but also life experience. All of my videos are suggestions with, I hope, what brings value to you, but in the end, you ultimately have to claim the authority and choose what's right for you. Okay, I just wanted to make that clear. So the first thing I suggest you do is find a community. It doesn't have to be Ignite in Community. That's the one that I facilitate. It's a Facebook group where I describe it like this. I started describing it like this. My group is a lot like me. Mostly love and light, but a little go yourself, right? I mean, come on. That's how I claim authority, creating boundaries for myself. And the point being is, find a community. It doesn't have to be Ignite in Community. It doesn't. Try it. If it doesn't work, leave. No big deal, no pressure. What is most important is that you find a community, and this is why. Within a community, there is a diverse group of people who have different ideas. It's the only way we grow. Don't stick to something or to a group that only thinks like you. That's your comfort zone and doesn't really do any good. So you want to find a group that's diverse, but also that has people who do think like you, because you want to feel comfortable and safe, and you want to be able to meet other people where you're at in the growth, in the journey, because you will. Sisters, we are all living our own individual lives, and yet so many of our experiences are shared. And so in a group, you find those who are where you're at, and you find those who are a little bit, I don't want to say ahead, but who have done what you're hoping to achieve, or where you want to go. They're there now, and you get to learn from them. And you get to see their experiences, what worked, what didn't work. And then also within the group, there are people who are not where you are yet. They're still here. unsure of why they are unhappy or why they feel controlled. And so within this collective, women support women. We need to gather. That is where we find strength. Don't fall in the trap that women are against women. Don't believe that. Seek a place that is judgment-free where women support women. Maybe you want to find a group in person. Where does your mom go when she gets together? And your grandma, was she in a choir or a knitting group? Women have been gathering for centuries. This is not new, but we have forgotten about the power of getting together. And so that's number one. That's actually number one in claiming authority in your own life. Number two, start small, like really small decisions. I know in my coaching, so many women, and I have lived this, are indecisive. What do you want for dinner? I don't know. Where do you want to go for dinner? I don't know. What movie do you want to watch? I don't know. What do you want to do? Not sure. You know, like we can't even make simple decisions. So start there, okay? If you're a mom making dinner for your family, don't ask them what they want. You're making dinner, make it. Don't ask your partner, okay? If you're the one making the dinner, make the dinner. That's a small decision, but it'll start to build your confidence. You will start to claim authority. I don't know, you need the family is planning a vacation. You have some suggestions. Make your suggestions, but firm, right? Not maybe we should go to. No, I think this A, B, and C would be great vacation destinations. Claim it. Make a decision. That's how you begin to claim authority. Oh, and I wanted to mention this. Claiming authority in your life doesn't make you a bossy bitch, okay? The system, the patriarchy, those around you they might not, but I'm sure you've heard it before. Someone who is doing well or, doing something different, living her best life, might have attitude. She's no, she's not. She's claiming authority. Watch her, learn from her, support her. That's how we're going to grow, and that's how you are going to find your voice. That's how you are going to live your best life. Pretty sure anyway. Remember, I'm just talking from experience here and what I know to be true through also, the education I've received. It's been a long journey. Find community. Start making little decisions, but making them with authority. You can do this, sisters. The ultimate way to show authority in your life is to take control of your thoughts. Yeah, and your feelings. Intentionally stop and think about what you're thinking. Where did that thought come from? Is it social conditioning? Do I believe this because of my mom, my priest, my teacher? And then make decisions that are aligned with you. And once you have that decision, claim it and live your life with authority. That's it. Sisters, you can do this. Let's rise.